Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Bear-Eberhardt and I'm going to take you through how to create a survey in Carmen. So start by logging into Carmen at carmen.osu.edu, log in, and click on the course in which you want to create a survey. Once you're on the course's homepage, please click on Activities and then click Surveys. When you're on this screen, if you've created a quiz before, you will recognize Question Library. With this, if you click on that now and you've created quiz questions before, you will see the quiz questions populate in here. Hit your back browser button and you can be taken back to the previous screen. And you may want to elect to not intermix your survey questions in with your quiz questions. And that can be done very easily by simply clicking on New Survey. To start, you want to put a name into the name box, and as you can see there is a red asterisk after name, which means that you must enter a name anyway. If you end up having more than one survey in your course, you may very well want to give it a unique name other than survey. But for the purposes of this demonstration, that's what I'm going to call this. I do not worry about adding categories in. However, you may want to add a category in. You can do so here, or if you already have categories created, you could choose one from the drop-down arrow. If you would like your respondents to receive immediate feedback, you can click this box. If you want to allow your respondents to submit it anonymously, you can click this box. Rubrics don't work well with surveys, so I would not even mess with adding a rubric. And click Save so that you can move forward with the rest of the components of creating a survey. Next, you can click Restrictions, which gives you several options. First of all, you must make this active if you want your students to be able to complete the survey. If there are only specific dates that you want the survey available for, you can of course click the box of start date and or end date and select the date and the time that you want it to open and the date and time that you want it to close. You can also create it as an event in the schedule or the calendar. I'm going to uncheck these because I don't need this to appear in the calendar or have a specific start and end date. If there are specific release conditions, you can add some in here, but I'm not going to cover that at this time. If you want the response type to be unlimited or editable or limited to a number of attempts, or if the editable, which means that they can go in and edit their answers, unlimited, which means literally they can go in there and do it as many times as they want, is fine. Generally people only want one attempt, so you can click number 1. If there are special situations regarding the availability, such as a student needs an additional time or whatever special condition, you can create those here, but again, I'm not going to cover that at this time. I'm going to click Save. We do not have learning objectives uploaded into Carmen, so we're not going to address that at this time. If you would like a report sent to you, you could create a report, but at this time I'm not going to cover that. We're going to go into Layout/Questions, and here we're going to add or edit questions. Now, we can see that if we wanted to import questions, if we've created them and put them in our question library, we could do that at this time. However, I have not yet created any survey questions because I'd really rather keep them separate from my quiz questions. So I'm going to click the Go button, and I'm going to choose what kind of question I would like to have my respondents answer. So I'm going to start with a Likert question. At this time, I do advise you to create some kind of a title, and that way in the future, when you're going through and revising any surveys that you have in your courses, you'll know what this is about. So I'm going to call this syllabus clarity. And at this point, I have entered in some text where I have asked, just kind of in a general statement, my respondents to select which of the answers below best represents how they feel about the statement. Because below, I'm going to make a statement. Here, I'm going to select an agreement scale to where the respondents will have 5 choices, with one end being disagree, the other one being agree. So that means that my statement needs to be something they can either agree or disagree with. So down here, my statement is that the syllabus has answered all of my questions. This would be an example of a survey question that I might send out to my students early in the term, maybe even the first week, to kind of get an idea of how I could better improve my syllabus for the following term. At this point, I would click Save. And I can see that my question has been created and populated into my survey. If I'm ready to create another question, I can click the Go button and select another question to create for my students. If I really just want one question, that's fine too, and I can click Done. We can see here that the one question that I've created is there. I do not need to ask that only 1 or 2 questions be per page because I only have one question, and I don't need to worry about whether my students can move forwards or backwards through my survey, because again I only have one question. So I'm going to click Save and Close. And at this point, I can enter my survey into my course content. So I'll click on Content, and I'll find the place where I want to place my survey. I can click on the module, or I can send this out by email to my students, however I would like to do that. But I'm going to put it into a module for now. Click Activities, click Surveys. And we can see that Insert a Quick Link has been chosen. Surveys is already chosen here. I can click the down arrow, click the survey that I created, and this is again why it would be very important for you to give this a unique name, especially if you have more than one survey created for your course, and then click Insert. I will see my survey pop up, and I can click directly on the link and click Preview. You can see it's processing, and then the survey is available for my students to answer. So if they say they strongly agree, they can click Save, and I now have a response to my surveys. If you have any questions about creating surveys in Carmen, please do not hesitate to contact me or Jenny Tornwall, and we are happy to help you. Thank you.